The urinary system. Magic School Bus Edition.
The kidneys are located on either side of the vertebral column. An indentation called the hilum is the site of exit for the ureter, as well as the site at which the renal artery and renal nerve enter and the renal vein exits. The renal capsule covers the surface of the kidney and lines the renal sinus, an internal cavity. The kidney is divided into an outer renal cortex and an inner renal medulla. The medulla contains renal pyramids. The tip of each pyramid, known as the renal papilla, projects into the renal sinus. Renal columns extend toward the renal sinus between adjacent renal pyramids. Urine production occurs in the renal pyramids and overlying areas of the renal cortex. Ducts within each renal papilla discharge urine into a cup-shaped drain called a minor calyx. 4 or 5 minor calyces merge to form the major calyces, both of which combine to form a large funnel-shaped chamber, the renal pelvis. The renal pelvis is connected to the ureter, through which urine drains out of the kidney.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Miss Frizzle.
Thanks for joining us, Becca.
God, you are always late to anatomy.
Sorry, I really had to pee.
Well, that's perfect. That's what we're going to be studying today.
What are we studying?
The excretory system.
What is that?
Isn't that where you poop?
It's how your body eliminates metabolic waste.
Oh. I don't get it.
So we're going to take a field trip, class.
Field trip!
So everybody gather your belongings and let's go out to the bus.
Hello!
Woo! Field trip!
Everyone put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a magic ride.
Move off my seat.
Buckle. I don't have one. Okay.
Okay.
We're ready to go. So where are we going?
Are we getting smaller or is everything else getting bigger?
We're going into the body.
What?
Field trip!
Look, guys, we're in the bloodstream.
Oh, cool. Look at all that oxygenated blood.
I think we're in the aorta.
Oh, cool. That's the big tube that goes to the rest of the body to bring oxygenated blood, right? It's so awesome.
Wow, I'm glad to see you guys have learned something this year.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're about to go off to the kidneys.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
So now we are in the renal artery going towards the kidneys.
Ooh.
Why does the blood even need to go into the kidneys?
Because it needs to go to the nephrons, duh.
What's a nephron?
It's the functional unit of a kidney.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh my god.
Whoa.
It's like there's a lot of pressure or something outside.
Yeah, it's bumpy.
Well, that's because there is a lot of pressure. The afferent arteriole is a lot bigger than the efferent arteriole, and so it creates that pressure.
Huh.
But isn't high blood pressure bad? Why would you want that in your kidneys?
Don't you ever read the textbook? We need that pressure because it creates a high glomerular filtration rate, which we need so that all the stuff can move through the nephron.
Oh.
It looks like we're being pushed out of the glomerulus into the glomerular capsule.
Can't that also be called the Bowman's capsule? That's an easier word. Yeah, I guess.
Good job, both of you. That's because it's a process called filtration, and now we're about to go through a process called reabsorption.
Where does that happen?
The PCT.
Actually, it's the proximal convoluted tubule. What do you think that means?
Wouldn't that mean it's closest to the glomerulus and it has like curves and stuff in it, right? That's what convoluted means?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Can either of you tell me what you think reabsorption means?
Doesn't reabsorb mean to take back?
Yeah, sometimes the body filters out things it doesn't mean to, so they could just reabsorb it back into the body.
Oh, how does it do that?
Well, it's all based on concentration gradients to maintain homeostasis in the body.
Oh.
Yeah.
So does it just happen in the PCT or does it happen anywhere else?
It also happens in the loop of Henle. It continues that step.
So this must be the loop of Henle. Are we still in the renal cortex?
No, actually now we're in the renal medulla.
Oh.
You know, the loop of Henle is the only part of the nephron that extends deep into the renal medulla.
Yeah, I know. So there's a descending loop and there's an ascending loop. So the descending loop loses and gains water, and the ascending loop loses and gains ions like sodium and chloride.
Where'd you get that? The textbook?
Yeah, because I actually read it, duh. And so it usually depends on concentration. I'm sure Miss Frizzle knows.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on concentration. So if the body needs more water, it'll keep the water that is in the body. And if it
doesn't need as much water, it gets rid of it?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So now we're entering the DCT.
So that's the distal convoluted tubule, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So is this like the last step? Are we like almost done? Because this is making me have to pee.
Yeah, this is the step, the third step. It's called secretion. So it's where all the stuff that the body doesn't need exits the body and goes into the collecting duct to exit the body in as urine.
So what makes up urine? I know it's water, right? And what other stuff?
Hannah, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, it's actually water, ions, and urea.
So what's urea?
Well, the liver actually changes nitrogenous waste into urea, which leaves the body through urine.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Hannah. Now we're in the collecting duct.
Okay, so how do we get out of the body? Like how does it get to your pee hole from there?
Well, that's not the correct term.
Yeah, it actually goes from the ureter to the urinary bladder,
Oh.
and then out the body through the urethra.
So that's your pee hole. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Technically, yes.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, welcome back from the field trip, class.
Field trip!
So, can anybody tell me what system they think relates to the excretory system using the stuff that we learned today? Becca?
The endocrine system, right? Because the adrenal glands, which are on top of the kidneys, they release aldosterone, which then increases the reabsorption of sodium and water, right?
Perfect.
And it also decreases the reabsorption of potassium ions, right?
Exactly. You've been reading your textbook.
I started reading my textbook. I felt very underprepared today, so I thought I'd read my textbook.
So, Hannah, can you tell me another system?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about the integumentary system because the body excretes sweat, which is made up of water and sodium, and that helps maintain homeostasis by regulating body temperature.
Exactly. I'm very impressed by both of you.
Field trip!
I want you guys to be able to describe the function of the skin in the excretory process.
Oh,
Hannah?
okay. So, like I just said before, like the skin is excreting sweat, which is just made up of water and sodium, so it can regulate body temperature and maintain homeostasis.
Since you did so well on that one, do you want to also explain the kidneys, how they're involved?
Yeah, the kidneys, they go through filtration, reabsorption, and secretion, and this also helps maintain homeostasis and produces the product of urine.
Good, your turn.
Okay.
So, how about you explain the lungs, how they're in the excretory process?
So, thanks Hannah for the example. So, the point of the excretory process is to get rid of stuff the body doesn't need. So, the lungs, take in oxygen and then are responsible for eliminating carbon dioxide from the body, which is harmful.
And the last one, thank you, Hannah, is the liver. How is the liver involved?
So the liver, we learned that yesterday on the field trip. So the liver, Hannah told me yesterday because she reads the textbook. So the liver changes nitrogenous waste into urea, which is just like a less harmful product for the body. And then that can be, taken out of the body through the excretory system and nephrons.
Perfect. Well, it seems like you guys really learned a lot from yesterday's field trip.
Field trip.
So, I guess that's the end of class, and look forward to tomorrow where we're going to be taking another field trip.
God, I hope it's a normal one. Okay. Okay. So just wait for me to come over there.
Here I am.
Here I am. I'm always late for class. Sorry about that. Okay.
Glomerular.
Glomerular. Glomerular.
Glomerular.
Glomerular.